Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to my review for The Witch. My precious. That's Lord of the Rings. I meant to say my pretty. Whatever. Anyway, welcome to my review. This is a movie I was actually very much looking forward to. I actually could not wait for this film. I've heard so many good things about how it is one of the creepiest movies that has ever come out, and how it will mess with you, and you shouldn't be seeing this. It feels like something that you shouldn't be watching. I've heard everything. I've heard that it's one of the best horror films of the last 10, 20, 30 years. I've heard all of it, and the reviews are stellar. Right now it has like an 88% Rotten Tomatoes. For a horror film nowadays, that's excellent. That goes up with that goes along with stuff like The Babadook, and It Follows as one of the best horror films, or best reviewed horror films of the last few years. So I was looking forward to it, and of course that trailer was immensely creepy without even really showing too much. I was like, oh man, I'm scared. Oh, is she gonna get me? So yeah, this movie was look real creepy, and the title is so simple. Why is there two V's where the W should be? What does that mean? Scared. So, did it live up to how creepy and terrifying the trailer was, how simplistic it was too, and did it live up to all of the hype, all of the great reviews? Let's talk about it. The Witch blew me away. Oh! But no, seriously, I thought The Witch was phenomenal, and I was so happy to see it in a theater filled with people. And I was so happy even more when the movie ended and I heard maybe a good 70% of the people say they freaking hated it, because that just made me feel smarter. That I left the theater for The Forest and The Boy saying, wow, that was garbage, and everybody else going, that was really good, it scared the crap out of me, I was so scared. And then I left this, which was a seriously thought-provoking, very tense, very atmospheric, wonderfully acted film with some great production values considering it cost like $1 million to make. And I left going, it was amazing. Everybody else was like, it's stupid. There was no jump scares, and I wish there was a porcelain doll that was creepy. And what was with the ending? That was silly. I didn't like any of the characters. How come no one had a cell phone? They should have just called for help. Why wasn't the witch in the movie more? You only saw her like a couple times. That's not eerie. I wanted to see her over and over again. Would like to apologize for my outburst. I'm sorry. I should be more professional. So anyway, let me be more professional by telling you why I love this movie so much. And of course, let's start with the story. The story here is set in the early 1600s, 1630 to be exact, I think. And it follows a family, a very Christian family. These people love God, love Jeebus, love all of them. And this is a very, very Christianity-heavy film. And it follows a father, a mother, and 4 kids and a baby. Which sounds like a TV sitcom, but it's not. It ain't no sitcom. There's no situational comedy in this. I mean, there's some situations. Ain't no comedy in it, though. I guess a sit horror. That sounds bad. That's a situational horror. That's bad. That's not good. But anyway, it follows them as they're pretty much in the middle of nowhere, in New England somewhere, and they live off the ground pretty much. Of course, they live off of corn and wheat. They don't live in a village. At first they do, but then they get thrown out, which we're never really told why they get thrown out, but they get thrown out of this village, so they have to make do in the wonderland of the world. So they have to go in the middle of the forest, and they have wheat and all that stuff, and they have a pretty good life for the first year. But then, out of nowhere, something happens where I don't want to over-explain, but someone disappears, and then that pretty much sets a chain of events of this family just pretty much breaking apart and not trusting each other. The main character really is the oldest daughter here, played by, I can't remember her name, but her name is Thomason in this film, and she's great, and she is the main character, really. It really follows pretty much everything through her eyes most of the time. And I thought she was great. Everybody's great in this film. It's filled with great wonderful performances, fantastic writing. The movie, of course, has very old English, so everybody's saying thou and come hither and stuff like that, which at first got a little jarring because I wasn't expecting that. But when you pay attention more and more, it becomes I guess it's smooth. I guess what's the word I'm looking for? You get accustomed to it pretty much, and I really enjoyed all the dialogue, all the characterization of all the characters. You get to know each of these characters pretty well, and it's not just a creepy family that's just creepy for creepy sake. Like, there's two twins in this film that are creepy, but then they become just annoying little kids, and I like that they're just annoying kids, not just standing there looking creepy, kind of like The Shining. No, there's times where they're really creepy. They're messing around with some of the farm animals and they're being annoying, screaming around and stuff. And then there's times where they're creepy and then they're annoying and then they're creepy, which I appreciate, even though I wanted those characters to go away so hard at times because they were annoying, like really annoying sometimes. And then you have like the other kid, the other child, Caleb, who's like 12 or 13, who is a kid that is becoming a man. He's like 12 or 13, which back in 1600s means you're like in your 20s pretty much. And he was becoming a man, and of course he's getting like, there's no other women around, so he's getting like kind of like sexually attracted to his sister, which is really creepy. So that's already a creepy aspect there. And the father is very heavy into Christianity, just like the mother is. So they're both praying all the time. So it does create a wonderful dynamic between all of these characters, this entire family. And when the bad thing happens and they have to start not trusting each other, it really is very wonderful to watch all these actors play off this great dialogue. And it's really tense and, I don't know, just interesting to watch. Now, you're probably wondering, what about the witch? Where's the witch come into play? I don't know. Where's the witch? I want the creepy witch. Let me tell you, the first 10 minutes, you don't need to wait too long to see this witch. And you don't really get to ever really see this witch head to toe or whatever, so don't expect to see just like this creepy looking witch all the time. If you're expecting that, go away. You're not getting that. You're getting creepy shots of the inside of her little hut and stuff, which is actually seen in the trailer, so that's not a big spoiler, that you get to see inside her little hut that she has. And you get to see creepy shots of just things that are hanging from her walls and what she's doing in there and stuff. And there's a couple scenes where you get to see parts of her body and stuff. It's really creepy how it sets the witch up. But the first 10 minutes, something happens that really does set the mood for the rest of the movie. And if you were like, oh, this is kind of boring, where's the witch for the first 10 minutes? After that scene, if you have a brain, you will be creeped out from there on. You will be. I was creeped out from the beginning because I would never want to live in New England back in the 1600s. Screw that. Alright? Especially since I do actually practice black magic. I mean, they'll just burn my ass on a stake. So, I mean, me burning on the stake, that'll feed a family of 20, but still, I don't think they actually eat the bodies, though. I think they just let them burn. So, I would have just went to waste. So, at least eat me. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, this movie really has just a creepy atmosphere. It really does. And when the witch does come into play, the witch is extremely scary. Terrifying, even. The atmosphere itself plays a huge part in the horror aspect, too. And I even think the animals. There are farm animals in this film. There are two in particular, a rabbit and a goat, that are terrifying. There's a couple scenes where the rabbit is just sitting on the ground, just looking. I'm like, better kill that rabbit, because that rabbit is evil. Evil! That rabbit is evil. Get it out of my face, because it's evil. And then the goat, which the kids call Black Phillip, which, whew, that's a creepy goat. First of all, the goat at one point kind of like jumps around on its hind legs, which I was already getting bad images of Krampus back in my brain, which, ooh, that movie creeped me out too. So, yeah, this movie's creepy. The animals are creepy. The atmosphere is completely there. It's filled with it. Like, if there was nothing else, if there was no witch, and if there was no goat walking on his hind legs for a couple seconds, it would still be a creepy film just because of where it's set. This is what The Forest should have done. The Forest is about, of course, a forest. This one is not. It's called The Witch. And the forest aspect is so much better than the movie that's called The fucking Forest. suck my butt. That movie sucks dick. And of course this movie's not going to make as much as that movie, which sucks because this movie's so much better. And of course people are going to say, I was dumb. I like The Forest because I'm dumb too. And that's really sad because this is a great film filled with great actors doing a great job. The dad, I forgot, I don't know any of these actors' names really. But the dad, the mother, all the child actors are great. The kid that plays Caleb is really, really good. There's a lot of creepy imagery. The lighting is excellent. It sets up a fantastic mood whenever they're inside the house and stuff. It's always dark and in shambles and stuff, and you see like little slats of lighting sometimes. It's just an amazing looking film, and they did such a good job with just $1 million budget. The director, I can't wait to see more movies from this guy. He did a great job. His name was Robert Eggers, I think his name is, and he nailed it, knocked it out of the park. I've seen so many movies in the last couple of years that come from first-time directors that knock it out of the park compared to some of the other veteran directors out there. Like, look at freaking Deadpool. Deadpool was a first-time directed movie, first-time director, and he nailed it. He really did. And of course, now we have The Witch, and yeah, there's plenty of other movies out there too I can name. But man, this movie I absolutely loved. I highly recommend it. I don't have anything else to say. Let me just say, The Witch is terrifying. I thought really creepy, builds up that atmosphere very well. The characters, the actors, all that, they do a great job. And it really is a very tense film because of the family dynamic. And then The Witch is just a really good addition there. Really, The Witch it's the perfect title of the film because it really is the witch that sets off the chain of events that brings this family to hating each other at points. And I thought the dialogue, all that stuff was great. If I could say anything that was bad, anything that was not even bad, just disappointing compared to everything else, the ending is a little bit of a letdown because it's a little silly. I will admit the ending is pretty silly. And I will say sometimes it is hard to understand what they're saying because they're talking in Old English and with like thick accents at times. So it's a little hard to understand what's going on with the dialogue. But besides that, it's a great film. Highly recommended. Definitely lived up to the hype. I will be owning this on Blu-ray. I give it a 37 out of 40. Highly recommended. Go check out The Witch. Thank you and goodbye.